When the first group was there, I was like, oh, stick to the script. And I was like, but then I'm in my head, I was like, these kids need to get some wiggles out. Maybe we should pause and do some movement stuff. And I didn't, and I paid the price for it. So, trust my instincts. Bigger energy. Oh, we were in a gym, wow. And I have a big voice. You've noticed this. I have a pretty big voice. I'm pretty comfortable speaking in front of people. And I could, like, I needed to shout to, like, get the volume, because there was so much echo, and then, like, kid noise, right? So,
like, tone, like you said, the first week. Yeah, I think that's just, like, the most important, is just making sure that even if you're having the worst week of your life and you're exhausted, didn't sleep at all, like, you're still setting the energy of, like, no, we're here, we're ready, we're gonna do this, and, like,
yeah, your energy is gonna, like, make it or break it. Like with my class today, they were starting to check out a little bit, and I started doing some silly dances while we're doing it, you know, and then that got them right back in, you know. It's really just all about how you present the materials.
Yeah.
Engagement of the group, so important. Having the tools set, like kind of the script down, but also having like flexibility to adapt, because there's like 12 different personalities, 12 different energy levels, and like being able, just practicing like in different ways to engage all those different people.
The importance of having the material memorized and locked in and prepared, so you're not thinking about that, you know, how the flow's going to be. While on the other hand, you're bringing up the ability to be flexible and to adapt.
Like, how'd it go? What did you pull from what we did together? Did it help? Did it not help? What things would you want to tweak? How'd it go?
I did it with the first group, the younger group. They were all like gathered at the door, and I was like, whoa! Because I really wanted, because it was such a big space, and I had in my mind, like, I knew they were going to be really high energy, and I knew it was a gym with stuff in it, so I really wanted them to like stay focused on going to their chairs. Right? So I had them form a line, and I taught them the rock beat right off the bat with foot stomp and clap, and we did that as like a little dance in a line to their chairs, and they just snaked to their chairs and sat down. I was like, yes, it was great.
Some kid's gonna be like, F you, blah, blah, blah. Like, when something like that happens, I just tell I acknowledge that when a kid's acting like that, those are just learned behaviors, and you just need to show them the correct behavior. So really just taking in what they said and just stay neutral, you know.
If we remember to find the positives, look at the kid doing the positive thing, that negative behavior will fade into the background. And even if it doesn't, even if it's still present, my energy on the positive makes me feel better. And I have to live with myself when these kids leave the room. And I want to leave feeling great. I want to go get my money. Thank you for bucket drumming. Thank you for the money. Thank you. This is my job, right? I want to be at work and feel good about my work. And the way the kid acts is not my fault. I'm not their mother. I didn't raise them. But how I handle them and how I feel is really up to me. It's up to you.
Is using inappropriate language and things of that nature. I definitely would say make sure that the staff within the room knows, and they can kind of handle that kid. So we do need to set a precedence of what behaviors that we're just not going to deal with. These are behaviors that's managed by the staff that's in the room, and behaviors that we can't manage within our setting, and kind of keep those kids within us. Because like we said, we want this to be the best opportunity for the kid, and still be a fun opportunity for the kids, because you never know if this opportunity leads into a producer, leads into a touring musician, this could be that door that opens that up for things of that. And if we quickly shut that door, then we don't know if these kids will ever have that opportunity again.
Communication is key, right? Expectations. You need to show them what communication looks like. You're gonna be in a room full of loud ass drums, so they're gonna need to know your style of communication, whether you can tell them to stop, this means stop, or whatever it is, they're gonna need to know those things, right? You need to show them how to effectively communicate while we're in the middle of a loud drumming class. You can't just be like, I got a question, I gotta go to the bathroom. It's like, you gotta show them how to get their attention without disrupting the class. Put your sticks down, put your hand up, I'm against you. Communication is key.
Hey, and it's all about, hey, pay attention to me, because I'm going to tell you what to do next, right? And then we thought about like a whole choreography for how to finish drumming. Is that at the end of the time together, we'll get to play a particular rhythm that hopefully is the one we played at the very beginning of the day. That's like the, ears up and wind down kind of rhythm. And then the next cue will be followed by pointing. Okay, you two, go ahead, put your sticks in the thing, put the bucket in the thing, and that way sort of orderly controlling the phasing out of the stick drumming, so it's not everyone going up at once with the buckets or one person collecting the buckets. Once they put the sticks and drums back, they're coming back on the seats and continuing to play the same rhythm, but now with their hands. While their peers are still on the sticks and drums, and we're phasing that all out until we're all with the hands. At that point, the next cue will be the stop. We didn't get to this part, but Meg was asking, okay, what's next? Okay, now we're done, goodbye, thank you. And the only thing that occurs to me right away is like, okay, now we're done, all applause. Yeah.
And you said it earlier, you're like engagement and management sort of mesh together, and they do. And like the best way to avoid the unwanted behaviors is to engage them in the wanted behaviors. And if they're busy doing what you want them to do, they're not going to have time to be, they're going to be so immersed in what you're doing. It's going to happen, it's going to be over, and you're like, oh, that's great. I'm going to go back to that next week because it's going to be great again. Like, most kids don't want to misbehave. Kids want to feel safe. They want to feel noticed. They want to have a good time.
This is the whole point of why we're kind of really sticking on making sure we have this aspect of classroom management, routines, expectations, all of that stuff done, because like you said, at the beginning of the class, if you don't have this, you're not going to get into the bucket drumming, you're not going to get into the body beats, you're not going to get into those activities that, really talk about the brand, because we don't have the management piece and everything together to get to those points.